Hi there, what's up? Welcome back to Ecofunomics. I am Dr. Shreya Roy, the founder of Ecofunomics, and this is session 11 of data analytics using SPSS. Ecofunomics is registered under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Education, MSME, Skill India, Startup India, and we are currently also a registered partner of IBM. Ecofunomics is serving knowledge across 168 countries, and this is a certificate course. If you want to register to the certificate course, the link is down in the description. All you need to do is register yourself, answer the examination, learn at your speed, and once you have cleared your examination, the certificate will be couriered to you. In today's session, we are going to be learning ANOVA, One-Way ANOVA, Two-Way ANOVA. And if you haven't watched our previous videos, please go ahead and do that. I'll link the entire playlist up. And if you want the hands-out notes to SPSS, the book is not yet published. We are working on it. It will be soon published. If you want the notes and the hands-out, please email to us at contact@ecofunomics.com or comment down below, or the WhatsApp number is being displayed on your screen. Now let's roll into the video. If you do not know, SPSS is an IBM software. Hence, we are extremely proud to announce that Ecofunomics LLP is now a registered partner of IBM. If you do not know how to import data into SPSS, please make sure to watch our previous videos where detailed explanation is given. Okay. A bit of theory before we enter into the software and the commands of SPSS. So, ANOVA, or analysis of variance, as the name suggests, is analysis of variance. Is a statistical formula used to compare variance across the means or averages of different groups. Like in the previous session, we had studied that t-test is for comparing the means. Similarly, ANOVA is for comparing the variances. ANOVA is very helpful for testing when there are two or more variables. And there is also something called MANOVA. So that is about, when you have different types of data. We are going to talk about it in the next session. ANOVA helps in resulting fewer type 1 errors. So if you do not know what type 1 errors are, type 1 and type 2 errors, there are two types of errors in statistics econometrics. I'll define or, explain them down in the description box too. So there are typical types. So ANOVA can be of two types, one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA. And let's quickly understand when we need to use one-way ANOVA and when we need to use two-way ANOVA. So in our previous videos, we have spoken about dependent variable and independent variables. So dependent variable is the variable you are trying to study, and independent variables are the variables that are affecting dependent variables. So let's say the number of hours you put into your studies will affect your score. So score becomes your dependent variable, and number of hours you put into studying is your independent variable, because independent variable affects dependent variable, and it's not the other way around. It can be the other way around, but that is a problem and needs to be tackled. Okay, so in general, dependent variable is affected by the independent variable. So the number of hours you put into studies will affect how your marks or scores are reflected. So another very important thing is we need to understand what is metric variable and non-metric variable. So metric variable is basically when something can be represented in numbers or numeric forms. Okay, like in the example that we can see, sales. Sales has to be in solid numeric form, quantitative data. And on the other hand, non-metric variable, as it can be shown on the example, is gender of the CEO, male, female, transgender, whatever. Okay, so that is not a quantitative data, that is a qualitative data. So qualitative data is called as non-metric variable, and quantitative data is called as metric variable. So the research question which we are trying to understand is, will the gender of the CEO affect the sales of the company? Will the gender of the CEO affect the sales of the company? So gender becomes my independent variable and sales becomes my dependent variable because gender is affecting the sales. Will or will not affect the sales. Okay. Let's open, let's take a look at the data. Just for my sake, I'm reducing the decimal places to 2 because it's just going to be visually appealing, nothing more to it. Okay, so this is my data. These are the hypothetical names of the firms, profit, sales in millions. So this is my concerned dependent variable and gender. So gender is over here. Okay, male, female, male, female, male, female. Let's take a look. Let's go to analyze, compare means, one-way ANOVA. For dependent, we are taking sales, and for factor, we are taking gender. Okay, and okay. So as we again spoke in the previous session, so null hypothesis is something which the textbook says. So basically, we are supposed to assume that gender of the CEO will not affect the sales of the company. So be that a female CEO or a male CEO, the sales will remain the same. That is my null hypothesis. On the other hand, alternative hypothesis will become when the gender of the CEO will affect the sales of the company. Okay. So what do we see? We see that my F value is, again, variance is calculated using F test, okay, F values. So my F value is 12.091 and my significance is 0.002. 0.002 is much smaller than 0.05. Hence, we fail to accept the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis, saying that the gender of the CEO is affecting the sales of the company. Now, this is my one-way ANOVA. Similarly, we also have two-way ANOVA. So in two-way ANOVA, what do? We have one dependent variable, which is a metric variable, a numeric variable, and dependent variable can be more than one. So it can be 2 or 3 or more. Okay, but 2 or more non-metric, 2 or more qualitative data. So take a look over here, gender, okay, age. Well, you might say that age is a number. No, the age that we have taken into consideration is only young and old. So young and old. We have not taken 28, 32, 50, 60. No, we have just taken young and old. So it is being represented by Y or O. Okay. And education may be educated or non-educated or undergrad educated, postgrad educated, PhD educated. So again, education also becoming qualitative data here. We are not stating 9, 10, 11, 12 and ranking them in numbers. No. So all the data that you see in the dependent variable are non-metric, that is qualitative. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's take a look into the software and practical application. Let's go to Analyze, then General Linear Model, Univariate, Dependent is again sales, sales of the company being affected by gender and let's say age. And okay. Okay. So what do we see? We see that for gender, the F value is 4.329, and for age, the F value is 0.936. Again, let's take a look. For gender, the significance is 0.05, exactly at the significance level, stating that gender of the CEO is affecting the sales of the company. As for age, it is 0.34, which is greater than 0.00 or greater than 0.05, stating that age of the CEO will not affect the sales of the company. Again, there is another very interesting term which is being provided in SPSS. These things have to be done manually when you use other software such as Stata. So here we see an interaction term, that is gender into age. Basically this is something in which you're trying to analyze what will happen to the impact given gender and the age, combined effect of gender and age. So here we see that given the gender, will the age matter in the sales of the company? It is coming to 0.56. So ideally, if you're following the standard rule of 0.05, then you have to say that together they are not affecting. But if you're following the lenient rule in which you're accepting at least until 0 0.1, that is 90% significance level, you are free to say that yes, it will affect the sales of the company. Given the gender of the CEO, the age will have an impact on the sales of the company. This is the interaction term. So if you have any doubts, please comment down below. If you want to try it out with other sets of data, please feel free to write to us and we'll share some more data. And in the next session, we will look into MANOVA. I think that's all. Please, if you have any other queries, feel free to contact us. We'll get back to you. Please like, subscribe, and see you soon. Until then, bye.